There is a quiet fear that almost every woman has felt at some point, often in the soft hours of the night or in the lonely silence after an argument. It is the fear that asks, why is he pulling away? Why does he stop trying? Why does the man who once chased me with fire suddenly become cold, distant, or disconnected? Women often blame themselves. They wonder if it is because of something they lack: beauty, confidence, affection, or worth. But the truth is something far deeper, something almost no one teaches women, yet it determines the rise and fall of a man's love. A healthy masculine man lives by an emotional law he rarely speaks of. He needs to know with absolute certainty that he can make his woman happy. Not just occasionally. Not accidentally. Not when everything is perfect. But deeply, consistently, and through his presence. When a man feels that his efforts bring joy to the woman he loves, he becomes more loving, more giving, more committed, and more devoted. But when he feels that nothing he does is enough, something inside him begins to quietly collapse. Not because he doesn't care, but because he feels he is failing at the most important role of his life. This is the emotional truth at the center of masculine psychology. A man thrives when he feels successful with his woman, and he slowly dies inside when he feels like a disappointment to her. This video is a deep dive into the hidden energetics of masculine love. It is for the woman who wants to understand men on a soul level. It is for the woman who wants to build love that lasts because it is emotionally aligned, not emotionally exhausted. And it is for the woman who understands that feminine softness is not weakness. It is extraordinary power. Every woman knows her own emotional need. She wants to feel connected, held, seen, understood, and emotionally safe. These needs are sacred. But a masculine man's deepest emotional need is very different. He doesn't need to be constantly praised, endlessly adored, or worshipped like a king. What he needs is something simpler and far more profound. He needs to feel capable. He needs to feel successful. He needs to feel that his presence brings positive impact into your life. A masculine man does not fall in love through compliments. He falls in love through impact, through witnessing the effect he has on you. If his presence brings you peace, he feels powerful. If his efforts bring you joy, he feels purposeful. If his love makes your life easier, softer, or more fulfilling, he feels alive. This is not ego. It is masculine biology. It is how his heart works. A masculine man is wired to lead, protect, provide, and create emotional safety. But he only continues to invest when he feels that what he is doing truly matters. When he senses that his love changes your energy, your mood, your softness, your peace, he becomes the best version of himself. He grows into his masculine nature with strength and certainty. But when he feels that nothing he does creates positive shift in you, he begins to withdraw. Quietly at first, then visibly, then irreversibly. One of the most painful emotional experiences for a man is not rejection. It is not abandonment. It is not even betrayal. It is the feeling of failing his woman. When he tries and tries but sees no change. When he gives but feels it's never enough. When he shows up but receives criticism, distance, or indifference. He begins to lose faith in his ability to make you happy. And when he loses that, he loses himself. This is when men stop trying. This is when they grow distant. This is when they withdraw into silence, work, hobbies, or emotional numbness. Not because they no longer love you, but because they feel they cannot succeed with you. A masculine man does not stay emotionally present in a place where he feels incapable. Women withdraw when they feel unsafe. Men withdraw when they feel ineffective. This is why understanding masculine psychology is not manipulation. It is emotional literacy. When a woman knows how to communicate in a way that reflects appreciation, softness, and emotional reception, she awakens her man's devotion. She brings out the version of him who tries harder, loves deeper, and gives more freely, not because she demanded it but because she inspires it. A masculine man stays invested when he sees that his efforts lead to meaningful emotional results in you. Psychologists call this a feedback loop. Energetically, it looks like this. He gives something: time, support, affection, effort. You receive it with openness, softness, appreciation. He sees the emotional effect it has on you. He feels successful, masculine, and capable. He gives even more. This loop is the engine of masculine devotion. A man falls deeper in love when he sees that he can soothe your stress, that he can brighten your mood, that he can make you feel safe, that he can bring ease into your life, that he contributes to your happiness. Men are not inspired by obligation. They are inspired by impact. And the feminine woman who understands this does not play games. She simply allows the natural exchange of masculine giving and feminine receiving to work in her favor. This is not weakness. It is emotional alignment. When a man feels he cannot win with you, an emotional collapse begins to unfold inside him. He feels like a failure. He feels useless. He feels ashamed, inadequate, and powerless. These feelings are unbearable for the masculine psyche. So he protects himself in the only way he knows how. He pulls away. He becomes quiet. He becomes cold. He becomes distracted. He becomes less affectionate. He becomes distant, sometimes even resentful. Not because he doesn't care, but because caring has become painful. A masculine man cannot thrive in a relationship where he feels unappreciated. He begins to believe you would be happier without him, and this belief slowly separates him from you emotionally. Eventually, he stops trying entirely, sometimes physically, sometimes just emotionally. Once a man no longer believes he can make you happy, he no longer believes he has a place with you. Whether consciously or unconsciously, every masculine man is always running a simple emotional equation in his mind. It goes like this. What I'm giving, my time, energy, resources, effort, love, does it lead to emotional results in her? If the answer is yes, he invests more. If the answer is no, he protects himself by pulling back. Women often argue that a man should not need validation. But this comes from a feminine perspective. Women feel loved when they feel connected. Men feel loved when they feel capable. It is not insecurity. It is masculine design. Women often underestimate the influence they hold over a man's sense of identity. A woman's emotional response, her joy, her softness, her appreciation, has the power to build or destroy a man's confidence in the relationship. The feminine does not need to perform to inspire a man. She only needs to receive with warmth, softness, and genuine openness. A masculine man lives for the feminine. Not in a needy way, but in a purposeful way. The feminine is his compass, his reward, his emotional home. When a woman knows how to embody warmth and appreciation, not as a performance, but as a natural extension of feminine energy, she awakens a devotion in her man that is rare and powerful. Men live for the feminine. They breathe for the feminine. They rise for the feminine. They soften for the feminine. They commit to the feminine. They stay for the feminine. A woman who understands this does not need to force anything. She simply aligns with the emotional nature of love itself. Allowing a man to make you happy is not submission. It is not weakness. It is not lowering your standards or suppressing your needs. It is simply allowing masculine and feminine energetics to work the way they are designed to work. When a woman receives, a man gives more. When a woman softens, a man steps up. When a woman appreciates, a man deepens his effort. When a woman expresses joy, a man becomes more masculine. When a woman trusts, a man becomes more reliable. Feminine energy does not chase, demand, force, convince, or pressure. Feminine energy inspires. And masculine energy responds to that inspiration with devotion. The woman who masters the art of receiving becomes the woman a man loves fiercely, protects deeply, and commits to with his whole heart. Not because he has to, but because he wants to. A healthy masculine man does not need perfection. He does not need constant praise. He does not need blind loyalty or silent suffering. What he needs is the emotional proof that he can make you happy. When you understand this, everything changes. Men who were once distant become attentive. Men who were once withdrawn become emotionally present. Men who were once unsure become deeply committed. Men who were once disconnected return with devotion. Because your happiness becomes his success. Your joy becomes his purpose. Your softness becomes his home. A healthy masculine man lives for the feminine. And when the feminine allows him to succeed, he becomes everything she ever dreamed of.